Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing this morning here? This is Reganelite here. Hello everyone, how you guys all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. It is a Tuesday, 29th of July, 11 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be looking at today's daily quote. We're going to be looking at the local weather. We're going to be looking at the UK weather. And we're going to be looking at news from outside the UK specifically. Not America. I'm going to try to avoid American news if we can. But we'll see how things go. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys all slept all right. I did my walk today. It was a very nice, pleasant walk. Very nice, pleasant walk again. I do enjoy doing these early morning walks. Actually, it's pretty darn nifty. I've just realized I've got so much to do today. I don't know how I'm gonna cram everything in between from finishing this to having my lunch and then to doing grinding between pretty much from 12 to 6 o'clock, which is where our next live stream will be. We'll be covering global news at 6 o'clock, so do join us for that there if you can do so. Mithral, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Ellie Chaos there as well. Pete's Music as well. And anybody else who may be lurking in the chat, hope you guys are all doing well. Let's get today's daily quota out of the way. Let's start with this one here first. This one from Desmond Trudeau, 29th of July. There you go. You can see it there. So to show once again that I'm not making it up as I go along. These are definitely from the day's daily quota. And it goes like this. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite the darkness. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite the darkness. That is today's daily quote from Desmond Tutu. If I said that right, Toot Toot? I hope so. I think I did. I think I did. To a certain extent, I hope so anyway. Tomorrow's one is a simple statement, an unknown one. It's a very good one actually. I like some. Sometimes there's ones where it's like, huh, and then there are ones that are like, ooh, it's a really good one. But tomorrow's one you'll have to wait for tomorrow because that's how the daily quotas work. Yes, I've been lurking in the chat, Stephen Banker. I've been lurking in the chat. I was there all the way up till when I pressed the switched over from here. Yes, Stephen Banker. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So let's have a quick look at the local weather here in London. Then we'll come to the UK weather as a whole. So at the moment in London, it is 18 degrees. So anything below 20, not too bad here. Cloudy all day till sunset. No, nothing. No, there was a bit of fog. There was a little bit of light showers because I had, and you want to know how? Because I basically I had a few showers when I was on my walk. Nothing too serious, just a bit of drizzle. Nothing too bad. That made me need to get my brolly out. But temperatures are very nice today here in London. 20 degrees, the maximum temperature. That's very nice temperatures here. I do still have the fan on because I still feel the humidity a little bit. So yeah, temperature should be pretty good for today here. 21 degrees is what they're predicting. Wednesday locally here 24 degrees, cloudy all day. Thursday 45% chance of rain, 23 degrees. Friday 40% chance of rain, 21 degrees here. Saturday cloudy with some sunshine at 22 degrees. Sunday 24 degrees, so much warmer days. Monday 22 degrees with 35% chance of rain. Tuesday all day sunshine at 23 degrees. Wednesday next week cloudy with some sunshine at 24 degrees, and Thursday forecast at 25 degrees. So still warmer temperatures, not the 30s, but still going to be warm nonetheless, guys, there. So just to be sure you guys are prepared for that. Let's have a look at today's weather forecast, guys. Let's have a look at today's weather forecast. We're going to go to, should we go from 1 o'clock or if we go from Tuesday 4 o'clock? Let's go from Tuesday 4 o'clock here. So temperatures make a change here in London. Obviously, as you can see, 19, 20, 18 degrees respectively here in England. This is at 4 o'clock today, just for reference there on the timescale if you haven't seen it there already. Let me just pull the chat back up here so if anyone new comes in, I don't miss them as well. There's some drizzles or showers. Like I said, I did feel a bit of it today as well, not too much. 23 degrees, temperatures a bit higher in some other parts of England here, down in the southwest here, 19, 20, 22 degrees respectively here. The south of Wales here, you have 23 in Cardiff, and other places 19, 20 degrees, roughly around about the same as it is here in London. And then a few spots of showers, central Wales and the Midlands there, 19, 20 degrees respectively there, so it's not too bad at all. If we go a bit more further up, north of Wales to the north, heading to the north of England, 19, 18 temperatures, pretty solid here for a Tuesday afternoon. 19 degrees Celsius here. Rain's not too bad. Bits of showers have rained here and there around here. As we head further in from the north of England into the south of Scotland. Make sure I get my words right there. 18 degrees there. Stranraer, 16 degrees there. If we go a bit more further up there, got 18 degrees respectively there. 17 degrees in some parts of Scotland there. Doesn't look like many showers that you're expecting today, so should be just nice and cloudy for you guys there. 19, 18, 17 degrees there. Aberdale's 20, Balmoral 19, Innervale's 18, 17. So temperatures not too bad here. Inverness at 20 degrees there. So temperatures pretty okay for you guys there. Let's go to Wednesday. Tomorrow Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Let's have a quick look here at Wednesday. We'll see what's forecast here. Not bits of showers, bits of showers here and there at Wednesday 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Here temperatures not too much change really in terms of temperatures. Here we can see there pretty much roughly the same. No really too difference in temperatures, but a few dots of showers potentially there. If we head down from the south of Scotland into the north of England here, 19, 21 degrees. Again, some dots of showers, but the temperatures aren't too much of a fuss again. Here, as we can see, if we head a bit more towards from the Midlands into the north of Wales there, temperatures again, 19, 20, 18, pretty solid, not going to be any issues really there. Head further down, further into the Midlands there, bit more warmer in some of the Midlands area, 22, 23 degrees in some areas there. Wales, 20, 21 degrees in some areas there. Cardiff, 23 degrees. We head a bit more further down into the southwest of England, 20, 21, 22 degrees respectively there. Right down at the peaks there, 19, 18 degrees there. St Mary's Airport there, all the way out there at 19 degrees. And we can see as we go a bit more further in here, you can see here temperatures a bit higher, 23, 24 degrees respectively here. London going to be a bit warmer, 23 degrees. Yeah, so it's going to be a bit more warmer there. And 22 degrees there respectively. Let's have a quick look at Thursday before I'll come to that super chat and what you guys are saying in the comments in a moment. Can we go to Thursday? Apparently you can only choose between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Fine. Okay, we'll do Thursday 1 o'clock and have a quick look here. We got temperatures roughly not too much as the same again from the day before for Thursday here. A bit of rain and forecast here at 20, 21, 22 degrees. Let's see what they got in other parts there. Temperatures again, not too much change. A little bit, 1 or 2 degrees warmer, but nothing too big there, so it's not too bad there. That way, I'll come to all your chats and stuff in just a moment, guys. Let me just finish this up. Wales here, south of Wales, 19, 23, 20 degrees here. We got some big blobs of showers around the Midlands here. Going to be hit with it quite a bit in the afternoon there. Oxford, Oxford, for example, Milton Keynes. Bedford going to be hitting with quite a few showers there. We can see there. Wolverhampton 20 there. Stamford, Peterborough, Kingsley on. Yeah, so there's definitely going to be some rains hitting a bit north of the bit of the Midlands there. You can see here 20, 21 degrees in roughly around some of the temperatures there as we head more into the north of England. Hull, Bethley, Driftwood, Burlington, Hodsey there, 19, 20 degrees respectively. A bit of rain, a big blob of rain here in the north of England, which obviously makes things a little bit wetter here. 19, 18 degrees, Blackpool, Preston, Southport, and those parts there. Morecambe, Euston, Windermere, they're going to be hit with some showers there. Temperatures again not too bad as we move further up from the south, from the north of England to the south of Scotland. 19, 18, 17 degrees respectively there. Temperatures a little bit cooler here. 19, 18 degrees and big blobs of showers. Dundee is going to be wet. 17 degrees. You can see a big blob of shower there coming up there as well, guys. 16, 17, 18 degrees. So yeah, expect some forecast of some showers around there, guys. There as well. I'm just going to quickly have a quick look. There we can see some Friday. Friday, some quite some showery showers here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to hit different. Yeah, so some showers around on Friday. It looks like in England's going to get hit with some of it. If it's going to hit Wales, just out of curiosity, little bit, but nothing too serious there. So that's some of the forecasts there we've got on the weather today. Right, let me just scroll up to see because I've just seen quite a lot of things there. Alison Keir, good to see you there. You had to run a bit late, had to clean the naughty step mop and bucket. Yeah, I saw you lurking in late on the chat there earlier. Thank you so much for that £2 super chat to get the goal started. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you. Ben Richards, good morning. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. The Midlands, I can see my house from here. Ah, you can indeed. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Alison Keir, for the 5 gifted memberships to Philip Axford, FY, Scott Hayes, Melzor, and Delic604 there. I think I said that right. Thank you for the gifted memberships, my friend. I really appreciate your support. It's very kind of you. Mark Teflar, good to see you there, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Witchy Goth, good morning, Witchy. Hope you are doing well. Guys, make sure you check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel. Someone can put a link in the description. Be greatly appreciated. Trips. Good to see you there. Hope you are doing well as well. Good morning, Catherall. Thank you so much for the free euros. Good morning all from Salou. 29 degrees in Salou, guys. It's 29 degrees in Salou. Thank you so much for that. For that super chat, really appreciate it, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever your plans are. And another super chat from Alston Keir, another £2 one there. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous of you. Really appreciate that. Just seeing if anybody else in the chat that I haven't said hello to there. I think that's everyone covered. Everyone just saying hello to everyone. Okay, lovely, lovely stuff, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Right, shall we get to the dreaded news, guys? Of course, we're going to be talking about, I mean, the one main topic of world news, unfortunately, is Gaza. So this is the front of Al Jazeera, I'm afraid, guys. Israeli settlers kill West Bank activists who worked on an Oscar-winning film. Why? Palestinian, because he's a Palestinian, that's why they did it. Ola Hassan was from Masif Yatida, a community whose resident to Israel settler violence was documented in the Oscar-winning film No Other Land. An Israeli settler has shot and killed a Palestinian activist and teacher, Oled Mohammed Hadian, in a village near Hebron in the occupied West Bank, local officials and journalists have said. Hadian is well known for his activism, including helping the creators of the Oscar-winning film No Other Land, which documents Israeli settlers and soldiers' attacks on the Palestinian community of Mustafa Yatiyah. Hadian was shot dead by settlers during the attack on the village of al-Akid, said Messive Yatta. The Palestinian Authority's Minister of Education wrote on social media late on Monday. The two filmmakers behind No Other Land, Israeli journalist Yovel Abraham and Palestinian journalist Barar, also confirmed the activist was shot and dead. The dear friend Anwar was slaughtered this evening, Anwar wrote on social media. He was standing in front of the community centre in his village when a settler fired a bullet that pierced his chest and took his life, he said. This is how Israel erases us one day at a time. The co-director of Abraham described Anwar as a remarkable activist who helped us film No Other Land, and Mustafa Yatida. Abraham also posted a video on the incident and said that residents identified Jürgen Levy, sanctioned by the EU and US, as the shooter. This is him in the film firing like crazy. Israeli settler who shot Ola in the lungs, a remarkable activist who helped us film No Other Land. Residents identified Jürgen Stone, sanctioned by the EU and US in the shooter. This is him and the video firing like crazy. Has no care. Heartless bastard. Israeli police acknowledged that they were investigating an incident near the Israeli settlement near Ibn Khan. Investigating the incident. Not calling it exactly for what it is. Again. An Israeli citizen was detained at the scene and then arrested by police for the question of police statement instead. I wonder if that person's already been released. Israeli soldiers also arrested 4 Palestinians connected with the incident, along with 2 foreign tourists who were at the scene, the police said. Following the incident, the death of a Palestinian was confirmed. This exact involvement in the incident is being verified, the police added. Palestinian news agency Wafka reported that a second Palestinian was injured in the attack after being beaten by a settler. He was taken to the hospital by ambulance, Wafa added. Hadilin was from Masavia Yeta, a string of Palestinian hamlets located on the hills south of Hebron, where residents have fought for decades for the remains of their homes after Israel declared the area an Israeli military firing or training zone. Their efforts to prevent Israeli forces from destroying their homes were the subject of No Other Land, which won the Best Documentary in the Oscars in March. Yeah, it's because it's a Palestinian, and I hate to say it like that, but that is the reality there. Death toll from Israel's war surpasses 60,000 Palestinians. It's actually more than that. It's actually more than that, but it's only what we've recorded. The numbers will be a lot higher, I'm afraid. Gaza's health ministry says more than 60,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's war on Gaza. Medical sources report that Israeli forces killed at least 62 across Gaza since the dawn on Tuesday, including 19 aid workers, despite pauses to deliver essential humanitarian aid, the integrated food security phase classification (ICP), a global hunger monitoring system has warned that the worst-case scenario famine is now unfolding in Gaza, as Israel continues to severely restrict aid entering the Strip. Yeah, we talked about that already. Israeli human rights groups. Yep, I've got a report on that on Rumble if you guys want to see that. I think that comes out today actually on Rumble, 12 o'clock. Israel's war on Gaza. Necessary volumes of aid not getting into Gaza. The UN Food Agency said on Tuesday it's not getting enough necessary volumes of humanitarian assistance into Gaza, despite Israel issuing new measures to enable more supplies to enter the enclave. See, I did say this. I bloody said this yesterday. We have not gotten the authorization or permission to move volumes that we've requested, Ross Smith, a senior regional program advisor at the WFP's Regional Bureau for East and Central Africa, said. Ross also said that disaster unfolding is at Gaza unlike anything we've seen in this century, adding that the remnants of famine seen in Ethiopia and Biafra, Nigeria in the 20th century. Malnutrition leaves 6-month-old babies nothing but bones. I don't want to see that picture. Please don't show us that. I see enough of it as it is. 1 million women in Gaza facing starvation or life-threatening risks, says the UN agency. UN chief says Gaza's destruction is intolerable. Shall we hear what he has to say? I think it's worth hearing, guys. I know it's brutal, but it's important to remind ourselves of these things.
Let's be clear. The creeping annexation of the occupied West Bank is illegal. It must stop. The wholesale destruction of Gaza is intolerable. It must stop. Unilateral actions that would forever undermine the two-state solution are unacceptable. They must stop. Excellencies, these are not isolated events. They are part of a systemic reality that is dismantling the building blocks of peace in the Middle East. And yet, precisely because of the grim realities, we must do even more to realize the two-state solution. Today's conference is a rare and indispensable opportunity. We must ensure that it does not become another exercise in well-meaning rhetoric. It can and must serve as a decisive turning point, one that catalyzes irreversible progress towards ending the occupation and realizing our shared aspiration for a viable two-state solution.
Yeah, but Israel doesn't want a two-state solution, and they are determined to see it become impossible to do so. They do not want a two-state solution, and the US obviously are the same thing on this as well. So, Smoker says rebuild the Gush Qatar settlement in Gaza is now closer than ever. Foreign Minister Beshmel Shmos said Israel is closer than ever to rebuilding the illegal settlement of Gush Khalid in southern Gaza that had been dismantled in 2005. The Yadov Atom newspaper quoted Smolvich is also saying at a conference in the Yad Binwin settlement in central Israel that where there are no settlements, there is no army. Where there is no army, there is no security. Gaza is an integral part of the land of Israel, he claims, who lives in an illegal settlement in the occupied West Bank. I do not want to return to Gosh Khalif as it was. It was very small, very crowded. I think it should be much larger, much wider, he added. What a nasty person. What a nasty, nasty person he is. No worries, Stephen Banker. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Absolute nasty person. Some of the photos, obviously, of the devastation that's taking place as well there. This is obviously the live feed there. Let's see what else they're saying there. How England won Women's Euros 25 title. Trump first deadline looms. Tariffs are here to stay, experts say. North Korea says US must accept its status as a nuclear weapon state. Well, they have nuclear weapons. What are you going to do about it? They've got nuclear weapons, North Korea, at the moment. So you're not going to go to war with them. Colombia's ex-president Alvaro Umre found guilty in a landmark bribery trial there. Thailand accuses Cambodia ceasefire violations, but truce is still holding. I did do a video on Rumble about this. Thai troops have retaliated approximately in self-defense, Major General Wedi Saro said in a statement. So ceasefire violations already taken place, so I'm not surprised. Thailand's army has accused Cambodia of violating an hours-old truce, saying that sporadic clashes continue despite an agreement to end the deadly fighting and in the disputed border regions between the two southeastern Asian countries. Thai troops have retaliated appropriately and in self-defense, Thailand's army spokesperson Wivri said in a statement on Tuesday. At the time the agreement took effect, the Thai side detected that Cambodian forces have launched an armed attack into several areas within Thai territory, Windawaki said. This constitutes deliberate violation of the agreement and a clear attempt to undermine mutual trust, he added. Thailand is compelled to respond appropriately, exercising its legitimate rights to self-defense. Following peace talks in Malaysia, both Cambodia and Thailand agreed that an unconditional ceasefire would start at midnight on Monday to end the fight in disputed zones along their 500-mile border, which killed at least 38 people in 5 days of clashes and displaced nearly 300,000 more. The acting Thai Prime Minister Ponyang played down the reported ceasefire violations and said he had spoken with Cambodia's defence minister ahead of scheduled talks between military commanders from both countries on Tuesday morning. There is no escalation, he told reporters. Right now things are calm, he said. Let's hope they remain calm, guys, because yeah, we don't want any more lives being lost. It needs to be there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alston, for the extra £2 for the two £2 super chats there to help reach today's super chat goal. Thank you so much there. Appreciate that. Thank you. Isaiah was referring to the podcast. I believe it's Tuesday or Tuesday. It could be you guys talking about something else there. Witchy has a GoFundMe to help improve our channel. Link is in the page. Please support her. Yes, do check. Yes, if you can, please not only subscribe to Witchy Goth. If you can support her GoFundMe, it'd be greatly appreciated as well. If you want more details, do check out her YouTube channel. Sean Wall, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Just seeing it there, and everyone's just saying hello to each other still. Heavy rain leaves 30 dead in China's capital, Beijing, as downpour continues. Damaged roads seen flooding the area as the rain hits Tuscan village and just get the outskirts of Beijing. This was yesterday. Wow. It looks pretty deep. Beijing expected to see its heaviest rainfall on Tuesday with up to 300 millimeters. That's 11.8 inches of forecast in some areas. At least 30 people have been killed in severe rainfall and flooding Beijing as heavy rain drenches the Chinese capital, state media reports. Deaths occurred in Beijing's mountainous northern regions, with 28 killed in Muran and 2 in Zhangqing. The official Xinhua State News Agency reported on Tuesday. The latest round of heavy rainstorms has left 30 people dead in Beijing as of midnight on Monday, Xinhua said, citing the city's Mujiafu flood control headquarters. Torrential rain started over the weekend, intensified around Chinese capital and surrounding province on Monday, with Beijing recording rainfall of up to 543 millimeters. That's 21.3 inches in its northern districts there. So there's an aerial screenshot of the submersion. That was yesterday. That picture was taken. Dear oh dear. Do they have a video? Just out of curiosity, or they do have a little video. Jesus, look at that. That is crazy. Also damaged hydroelectric plant as well, my god. Wow. Bridges between Hamia trade and between the two countries during its monsoon season, which lasts from June through to September. Much of Nepal faces frequent severe floodings as well. Jeez. Brutal, brutal, brutal. I think that's more of it there. Very, very brutal there, weather they're going through there. Trying to clean up the roads as well. But yep, monsoon is here. Monsoon is there for those in China. Why did Zelensky try to curb autonomy of Ukraine's anti-graft bodies? Taiwan's president, US stopover cancelled. Trump's moles China trip report. Taiwan's president, US stopover cancelled. Oh, interesting. Why Sudan's RFF choose this parallel government ahead of peace talks? The RSF-backed parallel government could complicate peace talks and cement a de facto pardon in Sudan, analysts say. Tonight, a coalition of Sudanese armed groups is formed in February, has unveiled a parallel transition peace governance to rival Sudan's wartime governments in Port Sudan. Dance is based on the partnership between the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudan's People Liberation Movement North, the SPLN, a powerful army group that controls swathes of South Kordofan and Blue Nile states in southern Gaza. They've been fighting a rebellion against the central government and the Sudanese armed forces for 40 years of conflict rooted in aggression and land grabs by central elites. The RSF and SAF are former elites, yet a power struggle triggered an all-out civil war in April 2023. Analysis told Al Jazeera that Towns aims to challenge the SAF for legitimacy and power after more than 2 years in the conflict. The Taylor's government and the RSF's latest attempts to rebrand itself as a state's authority rather than a militia, said Annie Hoffman, an expert on Sudan at the Senegal Institute think tank in the Netherlands. Yet all their actions have continued to prove the opposite. While announcing their government, RSF forces and allies have been besieging entire state capitals and starving innocent civilians, told Al Jazeera. Yeah, they have. How many times have I covered the RSF causing stealing food or, you know, destroying villages and wiping out people? How many times have I covered that from the about the Rapid Support Forces here? It's insane. Times announced that its government just 3 days before the new round of Sudan peace talks set to begin on July 29th in the United States. Today, don't have much hope of them. Talks will begin together representative from Sudan's Kuwait, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and the US. Neither the SAF nor the RSF will be included in this round according to Africa Intelligence. Well, that's no good, is it? Bud, good to see you you are doing well. Regardless, the RSF has been long wary of being dismissed as a mere armed group in ceasefire negotiations and left out of circles of power and influence in post-war Sudan due to a lack of international illegitimacy. Yeah, maybe it's because you guys are, act a bit like terrorists. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's how you treat burning down villages and whatnot, and doing a bit of, I don't know, a bit of ethnic cleansing in certain parts of Sudan. Maybe that might be the reason why people don't want to legitimize you. By forming its own government, the Talis Alliance aims to garner reconciliation from some friendly states and boost its bargaining position in future negotiations, said Kolatul Khater, an expert on Sudan and the founder of the Convolute Advisory think tank. What's interesting is there's been so little discourse about the new talks, yet it all started a flurry across Sudan and catalysts in the formation of these two governments, Khater told Al Jazeera. I really don't have much hopes with these talks because, I feel what's going to happen is that Sudan is going to get split again. We've already got South Sudan, and I feel like the country's going to get split again with this conflict. I just don't know what they can do. I just don't know what they can do. Horror upon horrors, how US Congress responds to mass hunger in Gaza. Countries denounce Israel but keep trading with it. There's an explainer video that's dropping this week as well on Rumble. If you want to know about this story here, the explainer, do check that out on Rumble. 5 dead in New York City shooting, including a gunman. An attacker was armed with an M4 rifle when he opened fire inside a skyscraper at 345 Park Avenue in Manhattan. Oh my God. Absolutely terrible. 5 people dead as well. Absolutely horrible. Message found in bottle in Ireland prompts theories about Taiwanese crew. Purpose SRS message review hopes for answers about the fate of a crew that disappeared 4 years ago. Wow. Extraordinary. Story of 2 friends taken in RSF dragnets and they saw inside the detention centres. 2 friends, 1 war and the RSF reign of terror in Khartoum. Ooh. And there's they've got photo shots there. You can see obviously the mass evacuations in northern China of the floods. At least 30 dead and tens of thousands evacuated there. That is from Al Jazeera there, guys. Interesting stuff indeed. Is it me or is Reganelite mic volume low? It could be my phone. Sometimes wait, stop knocking the computer, Regan. Maybe it's just me, need to be a bit closer to it. Sometimes I talk a bit low, and sometimes I talk a bit louder. And sometimes I'm not close enough to my mic. So that can technically be my fault as well. Right, Euro News. What have they got here? At least 17 inmates killed in Russian strike on Ukrainian prison. I mean, yes, you can argue, oh, well, it's prisoners. They're not as bad as civilians, yeah. That's true, but still. No, a video doesn't show anti-Zelensky protest over peace deal refusal. What is this? No video doesn't show anti... Go away, advert. Can you get rid of that advert? Thank you. The miscapsulation video shows protest against controversial anti-corruption law that Zelensky has things backtracked on rather than a demonstration against the president himself. Is it going to play? Adverts? Adverts? Are we going to get adverts? Ah! Good thing I tried to stop it just in time. Sorry if that blurred into your ears. Apologies.
Doesn't show an anti-Zelensky protest over his refusal to sign peace with Russia. Handling of Russia's war against their country. For example, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a far-right US representative, posted the video on X, stating that huge protests had erupted in Kyiv against Zelensky because, quote, he's a dictator and refuses to make peace with Moscow.
That's not true.
Has 4 million views as of the time of recording, with tens of thousands of shares and likes. This is concerning because each of her claims is categorically false.
Yeah, the protest is not about Zelensky himself. The protest is to do with the anti-corruption and taking away its independence and we're taking that power away and putting it more into the hands of the government and Zelensky, which they didn't want to do. It wasn't about a protest against the president himself.
To begin with, a reverse image search of stills from the video shows us its true nature. It directs us to numerous legitimate news reports showing that, yes, while the protests are recent and took place in Kyiv, they weren't against Zelensky.
Yeah.
They were actually in opposition to a contentious law that weakened Ukraine's anti-corruption watchdogs. Critics argued that it effectively compromised the independence of the country's National Anti-Corruption Bureau and the Special Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, as they would become dependent on the politically appointed Prosecutor General. The move sparked protests across the country, but Zelensky has since backtracked in response to the protests and submitted a new draft bill to reinstate the agency's freedom.
That's because, yeah, he's listening to the people there. As for Marjorie Taylor Greene's claim that Zelensky is a dictator, well, she's an idiot. That's what she is. She's a goddamn idiot. Sorry about that. Bleh! Sorry about that loud noise that came in, guys. Apologies about that. No, it's fine, Witchy Goth. It's fine. No problem. Better find the kids. No worries, Catherine. Enjoy your day, whatever you got planned. Much appreciate it. Let's see. Netherlands to impose travel ban on Israeli ministers over Gaza. So the ban targets two far-right Israeli ministers in support of Israeli settlement movement. They will continue war with the authority and the voluntary immigration of Palestinians. The Dutch government set to ban two of the ministers. Measures targeting... oh, wait. No. Stop playing your damn adverts. Hold on. Let me... one sec. Let me see if we can... I know some people prefer the... Oh, it's about something else there. I think it's about something else there. The measures target Israeli ministers, Ben Gvir and Spekar Smots, two key partners in Netanyahu's coalition. The ban and other sanctions were announced in a letter the Dutch Foreign Minister Caspar Veldkamp sent to lawmakers on Monday evening. They have repeatedly incensed violence by settlers against the Palestinian population and called for ethnic cleansing in the Gaza Strip, the letter read, as reported by local media. The Dutch government will also summon the Israeli ambassador to urge Netanyahu to take immediate measures to lead the suspension or rapid improvements of the humanitarian situation throughout the Gaza Strip, the letter read. Both were defiant of the announcement. Ben Gvir would continue to act, and Smotrich claimed European leaders are submitting to the lies of radical Islam. No, they are not. Earlier this month, Slovenia banned Ben Gvir and Smotrich from entering the country in response to a lack of joint action taken in Brussels by EU foreign ministers against Israel. Similar moves were made last month by the UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Norway, who imposed financial restrictions on sanctions on the two men. The Dutch government, who are gearing up for elections in October, has faced mounting pressure for it to change its stance on the Israeli policy. So it looks like they're trying to make some changes here. Can we go back? Hello? It's being really, really slow right now. It shouldn't be. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Right, what on earth are you being so slow for? You should be running just fine. There we go. Alright, let's try again. Yemen Houthis vow to ramp up attacks on ships linked to Israel. Gunman kills 4 at Manhattan's office buildings in New York City. Let's have a quick look at this one. The Iranian-aligned group rebels said the country should pressure Israel to stop the war in Gaza and lift its blockage if they want to avoid this escalation. Yemen Houthi rebels have vowed to target commercial ships belonging to any company that does business with Israeli ports, regardless of nationality, as part of what they say is a new phase of their military operation against Israel. After the Hamas war started in October 23, the Iranian-backed Houthis launched a campaign targeting ships in the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Arabian Sea, in what they have called a show of solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza. In a recent announcement, the Houthis said they had decided to escalate their military support operation to begin implementing the fourth phase of the naval blockade against Israel. They warned that they would target all ships belonging to any companies that deal with the ports of the Israeli enemy, regardless of the nationality of that company, and in any location within reach of our armed forces. The rebels said countries should pressure Israel to stop the war in Gaza and lift these blockages in the Palestinian territory if they want to avoid this escalation. Yeah, I just don't want them putting people's lives at risk, because unfortunately some lives have been lost by some of the actions that the Houthis have been doing. And by the way, they're in no means they are good people in any way, by the way. Let's make that very, very clear here. This month, the Houthis attacked and sank 2 Libyan-flagged Greek-owned bulk carriers, the Magic Sea and the Eternity Sea. The attack on the Eternity Sea killed 4 crew members, while 11 others were taken captive. All 22 members of the Magic Sea were rescued before the ship sank. On Monday evening, Houthis released a video showing the 11 captured Eternity Sea crew members. The footage, the first of its kind since the Houthis attack started, showed the crew been taken off boat as well as interviews with the captain. The video has not been independently verified. Earlier this month, the US Embassy in Yemen, which has operated in Saudi Arabia for about a decade, has described Houthis as having kidnapped the Eternity Sea seafarers. Between November 2023 and December 2024, the Houthis used to target more than 100 ships with missiles and drones. The rebels stopped their attacks during a brief ceasefire of the war in Gaza, where later the targeted bombing campaign ordered by US President Donald Trump. In May, the United States announced a deal with the Houthis to end the airstrikes in return for an end to attack of ships, although the rebels said the agreement did not include halting strikes on targets they believed they were aligned with Israel. Yeah, that I remember this. Yeah, Netanyahu was pissed off because the US agreed on a deal, but it didn't include obviously anything associated with Israel there. Netanyahu was basically like, hey, why didn't you do anything about the ships? Yeah. EU-US trade deal off tariff escalation but threatens growth. Trump shot on Russian deadline. I've talked about that already. Former Colombian president convicted of witness tampering and bribes. Student rentals exceed €400 for the first time in Portugal. Older brother of racist star Liam Nogueira got charged with rape. EU's deforestation law changes could aid illegal Russian timber trade. And we talked about the looks of the flattery from Al Jazeera there as well. Anything else here? Oil prices on the EU-US deal and Trump's comments on Ukraine. Yeah, he calls windmills an abomination as well. Lead MEP says EU should skip 2040 emission targets. Why? Portugal to invest 137 million in grid upgrades after April blackout. Hunger strikes Middle East and Africa, UN survey shows. Yet, don't forget it's happening in Africa as well. It's not just happening in Gaza as well, guys. Floods hit Romania as wildfire rages in Turkey and Albania. Yep, so we have, they're obviously covered in Greece, I think in a short video as well. So you now got them happening. You have to remember it's happening as well. Also, I saw a story yesterday as well that Turkey broke 50 degrees Celsius in temperature yesterday, I believe it was. The highest ever temperature. I don't think I've ever seen a country hit 50 degrees. Maybe that's just me, but that's insane. 50 degrees. Jesus. Poor child. Hunger, famine. This is Middle Eastern eyes or anything here. Now we don't want some of this stuff is pretty brutal to show. Israel is committing genocide in Gaza, says 2 major Israeli rights groups. I covered that in the story. Netherlands banned Israeli missiles, we talked about already. Death toll passes 60,000. Iranian-backed state against Israel will reward them now. Gaza's death toll approaches 150. Protesters descend on homes of GHF executive director. So the people in the US are targeting those in the US responsible behind the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. US calls Saudi and French-led conference on two-state solution a publicity stunt. Yeah, because it doesn't do anything. University student tortured to death in Egyptian police station, says rights group. Oh my god. Absolutely horrible. Those are some of the stories from Middle Eastern Eye. I'm not going to really open up any of them, guys, if you wanted me to. This is African news. Let's see what's got in here. Nigerian kidnappers kill 35 hostages despite receiving ransom. What? Oh, cold bastard. Nigerian kidnapper kills 35 hostages despite receiving a ransom. In northwestern Nigeria, tragedy has struck again. Bandits in Zambia state have killed 33 people they kidnapped in February despite receiving a ransom of over $33,000, according to local residents and officials. The victims were among 51 villagers abducted from Banya village in Kamara district during a violent raid that left 2 dead. After months of anguish, families paid the ransom in 2 installments, hoping to secure their loved ones' release. But only 18 captives returned last Friday. The 3 hostages revealed that 33 others had been killed by their captives. They took our money and slaughtered the rest, said local resident. The region has long been plagued by heavy armed gangs evolving from herder farmer tensions to full-blown organised crime, thriving in neglected rural communities where government presence is weaker and non-existent. Local official Manya Hana confirms some deaths but stopped short of confirming the toll. The massacre highlights the growing lawlessness and deeply humanitarian crisis in Nigeria's northwest, where communities remain at the mercy of armed criminals and justice is in short supply. My absolute condolences to them. Thanks for popping in, Witchy Goth. Much appreciate it. All well and good. Yeah, just my absolute condolences. I mean, that's it's just like to lose your loved ones even after doing paying the ransom as well. It's heartbreaking enough to lose loved ones, but I just feel like it's just even more compounding. It's absolutely devastating. My absolute heart pours out for the loved ones. I really, that's all I can say. Nigeria needs help. The country needs help getting to grips with it. Cameroon's opposition leader Maureen Kamtomo appeals election disqualification. Last week, Cameroon, who was runner-up in Imbecol Pele in 2018, was barred from this year's election by Cameroon's electoral oversight body ELCAM. ELCAM cited the fact that Madeleine, the party's Cameroon represents, had already submitted a candidacy for the 2025 vote. Cameroon supporters however, are crying foul, pointing out that other parties are also running multiple candidates without pushback from ELCAM. Kamtiano is seen as a main challenger to 92-year-old President Belia, the world's oldest serving head of state who has ruled Cameroon since 1982. The United Nations Department of Safety and Security has warned that the exclusion of candidates could lead to public protests in the capital. Yeah, it would. It will lead to it. Yeah, they've had the I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. The Cameroon leader who's running again, and he could be as old as 92. And we talked about Trump being old and Biden being old. No, that's old. Nigerian football team receives heroes welcome after winning continental title. Fantastic. UN causes of hunger rises amid global Africa. While global hunger is showing signs of decline, a new UN report highlights a troubling trend in Africa where hunger continues to rise. According to the report, an estimated 512 million people worldwide remain undernourished by the end of the decade, 60% of them in Africa. UN Secretary General says issue stark warning. Cautioned that food must never be used as a weapon of war as he joined other leaders calling for urgent action to address the country's deeping wolf and crisis. The problem is, because Israel are using this, I can see other nations starting to do this as well. This is the problem. I can see other countries doing this as well. It's really heartbreaking. Numbers are alarming. More than 280 million people across Africa are currently malnourished. 280 million people. You see, you don't see this. How often do you see this from world news organisations calling out what's happening in Africa? African Union Commissioner Mahmoud Yuri Ali Yusuf pointed to climate shocks, conflict and economic disruption as key drivers of worsening food insecurity. 52 million Africans face food insecurity, nearly 3.4 on the brink of famine, Yossevin has said. Leaders at the summit emphasised the need for stronger investment in agriculture, climate resistance and social protection systems to reverse the trend. Without swift coordinated efforts, the continent risks becoming home to half of the world's undernourished population within the next 5 years. Rome prepares to welcome 500,000 young people for Jubilee of Youth celebration. Pakistan's mourned the 11 victims of attack in Khan Yunis. Trump gives Russia 10 to 12 days to reach peace deal with Ukraine. That's not going to happen. Donald Trump disagrees with Netanyahu's claims of no starvation in Gaza. Islamic State claims responsibility for Sunday's church attack in DR, Democratic Republic of Congo. I covered that in a short video. Absolutely disgusting. US halts visa proceedings at embassy in Niger. Former Mali PM under investigation for alleged misuse of public money. I'm assuming it's money. Israel to begin a daily pause in fighting as aid drop resumes over Gaza. Again, it's nowhere near enough that is needed. Senegal opens official probe in 2021-2024 political violence there as well. Anything there we haven't already seen? Can't see anything else there. Yeah, it's pretty. I know it's pretty depressing stuff. Yeah, that kind of news. But it is important we see what's happening. Let's go to Asia, see what's happening in Asia, guys. This is the front of Central News Asia. Analysis piece there saying as Indonesia, Malaysia receive bilateral talks, will Palau and Ara seek to achieve? In Indonesia's bid to be bigger fish in global waters. Thailand-Cambodia border calm as military leaders meet. Gunmen involved in Indian Kashmir tourist attack killed minister. Vietnam flash flood kills 5 dozens evacuated. Thailand-US trade talks should be concluded before the 1st of August, minister says. At least 30 dead in Beijing following heavy rain. Thai-Cambodia ceasefire rare diplomatic success due to Anwar, ASEAN and US pressure. India set for IPO surges. More companies plan to tap equity markets there. Taiwan says President Lai not blocked from US stopover. So why are you not going then? What's the reason? Insisting he has no plans to trade overseas in the future. Remark come as US President Donald Trump's administration reportedly denied permission for Lai to transit to New York as part of an official trip to Latin America next month. Lap's office never confirmed his travel plans, but Paraguay, Taiwan's only diplomatic ally in South America, said in mid-July that Lai would visit the country in 30 days. Such a visit would mean that Lai would need to fly through US territory. There's been no postponement, cancellation, or any denial of permission for the transit by the US side, spokesperson has told reporters. Given the ongoing post-disaster recovery efforts in southern Taiwan, the ongoing reprisal tariff negotiations with the US and the relevant international situation, the president has no plans to visit overseas in the near future. The Financial Times, citing unnamed sources, reported on Tuesday that the Trump administration had denied permission for Lai to stop over in New York after Beijing objective. China claims Taiwan is part of its territory and opposes any international exchange with the Democratic Island. The Financial Times said Lai had decided not to travel after he was told he could not enter New York. Chinese and US officials are currently holding trade talks in Stockholm in a bid to extend a fragile truce in the face of Trump's global tariff war. While the US does not recognize Taiwan as a country, Washington remains the island's most important partner and biggest arms supplier. Commenting on the Financial Times article, Nancy Pelosi said the decision sends a dangerous signal. Yeah, it is a dangerous signal. A spokesperson for Washington's de facto embassy in Taiwan declined to comment on a hypothetical given Taipei had not announced Lee's travel plans. Yeah, it's important that context does matter there. But the American Institute in Taiwan spokesperson added, transit by high-level Taiwan officials, including presidents, are fully consistent with our long-standing policy and practice. That has not changed. So, Lai had originally planned to stop over in New York and Dallas as part of a trip to Paraguay and Central American allies, Guatemala and Belize next month. Bloomberg News previously reported. They're among 12 remaining diplomatic, Taiwan's 12 remaining diplomatic allies there. Interesting. North Korea says Trump must really accept his new nuclear reality. I think, what do you want them to just say to accept, just to comment on it? I mean, what more needs to really be said there? Thai and Cambodia evacuees hail truce news with mixed emotions. Local villagers wait to receive supplies donated by charity in Sang Sang district in Siem Reap province. This was in Cambodia yesterday, amid the fighting between Thailand and Cambodia. Thai and Cambodian evacuees welcomed the news of the ceasefire on Monday with a mix of relief and scepticism. Counting down the minutes to midnight when the truce of Cambodia is due, Thai evacuee Jenya Falcon was full of fragile hopes and doubted that peace would prevail. She flew from a frontier home in Phantom Dong Rak district with her 3-year-old son just a few days ago. If it's truly ending, I'm overjoyed and happiest I felt in a long time, the 40-year-old told AFP in a shelter in Surin City, 50 kilometres from the border. Yeah, we already talked about it, the fragile ceasefire there. But yeah, I really hope it holds. I really hope so. I'm quietly confident on it. Indonesia and Malaysia received bilateral talks. Philippines flooding centre stage at Marcos State of Nations speech. Gunman kills 5 in mass shooting in Thai capital, the police. That was 22 hours ago. CT Hutchinson eyes major Chinese investor for Panama port steel. Intense rain lashes in China as landslide kills 4. We saw that already. Those are some of the news from Central News Asia there. Not going to be too many stories here, but let's have a look at the France 24 just out of curiosity. Gaza. Hamas must surrender control of Gaza and disarm, Palestinian PM says. State of Palestine's long road for reconciliation. At least 30 killed by nurseries by Israeli strikes of Gaza civil defense. Flooding kills 30 in Beijing. The shooting in Manhattan, we saw a bit of that already. Liver cancer causes nearly double worldwide by 2050, study says. Liver cancer cases could surge to 1.52 million annually by 2050 from 870,000 if trends continue. A Lancet study warns on Tuesday obesity, alcohol, and hepatitis are key drivers of the disease. The 6th most common cancer globally, according to Rise Cancer Observatory data. Prevention efforts are urged to curb the rise. The new cases of liver cancer, the 6th most common form of disease, will rise. Yep. It is also the 3rd deadliest of all cancers, with the study predicting it would take 1.37 million lives by the middle of the century. However, 3 out of 5 cases of liver cancer could be prevented, the international team of experts said. The risk factors are drinking alcohol, viral hepatitis, and build-up of fat in the liver linked to obesity called MASLD, which is previously known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The virus that caused hepatitis B and C is expected to remain the leading causes of living cancer in 2050, according to a study published on the World Hepatitis Day. Vaccinations at birth is the best way to prevent hepatitis B, but vaccine coverage remains low in poor countries, including sub-Saharan Africa, the study says. Unless vaccinations are increased, hepatitis B is expected to kill 17 more million people between 2015 and 2030, it added. Alcohol consumption is estimated to cause more than 21% of all cases of liver cancer by 2050, up more than 2% from 2022. Cancer due to obesity link fat in liver also rise to 11%, up also more than 2%, the researchers calculated. The large study, which reviews the available evidence on the subject, underscores the urgent need for global action on living cancer, the authors have said. That's really scary. Liver cancer. Any cancers are scary, to be fair. Two-state solution. That story's old. Yeah, some of these stories are quite old. There. Everyone is usually quiet. Yeah, some people just like to listen in. Some people just like to listen in. It's different for everyone, isn't it? To be fair. Let's see what the Kiev Independent will do. To be fair, I wasn't sure if the time seems to be suitable for people. Kiev Independent here. EU warns Ukraine of freezing some funding unless anti-graft agencies' independence is restored, media reports. I'm assuming that's to do with the anti-graft agencies there. Another proof of Russian war crimes. Russian airstrikes on Ukrainian prison kill 17 inmates. Excuse me. Unidentified drone crashes in Minsk after being downed by Belarusian forces. New tactic. Ukraine thwarts Russian plots to kill prominent army unit commander, apparently. Another proof of Russian war crimes. We just saw that already. 23 killed, 54 injured in Russian attacks over Ukraine in the past day. That's high. That's high. Ukrainian drones strike train station, rail infrastructure amid large-scale attacks on Russia's Rostov Oblast. General Staff, 1,051,000 troops have been lost according to their report. 2 killed, 5 injured in Donetsk Oblast. US likely to move nuclear weapons to the UK for the first time since 2008 amid Russian threats, Bloomberg reported. Oh, what are you doing? Putting more in Scotland, are you, without their permission? Peace through strength is possible. Zelensky welcomes Trump's new Ukraine peace deal deadline. How Russia modified Iran's Shala 136 drones and what it means for Ukraine. And those are some of the stories, some other stories there. Any others there? Ukraine imports Azerbaijani gas for the first time as storage runs low. Ukrainians and Georgians reunite in wartime Kiev for festival, resistance and rhythm. How do they get it from Azerbaijan? That's going to be trouble. It's going to be a pain to get to. Russia may receive up to 30,000 fresh North Korean troops, boosting its negotiating position there. Let's have a look at CNN before we head out. We've got a couple minutes, so we'll have a look at a couple more stories here. Just a reminder, I'll be back again live looking at global news again later on today at 6 o'clock. So if you could join me for that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Worst case scenario, famine now unfolding in Gaza, UN-backed body has said. India says it has killed 3 militias behind Kashmir terrorist massacre. Ceasefire holding Thai-Cambodia border. Streets turn the rivers are flooding underdogs northern Beijing, which you've seen already. Israel is pausing operations in some parts of Gaza amid mounting horror over starvation. US uses about a quarter of its higher military interceptors in Israel-Iran war, exposing supply gap. Brutal punishment are being meted out to Russian soldiers no longer willing to fight for Putin. Oh, Jesus. In one video, 2 men in a shallow pit, both apparently deserters, are told to fight one another, with only the victor allowed to get out when it is over. Russian soldiers call the practice of sacrifice to baby yellow feast on the victims. A Russian serviceman has seen the video being tied up to a tree and abandoned to its fate, possibly dead at the hands of one of Ukraine's largest attack drones. Why this is happening is clear from a radio intercept about a similar incident shared with CNN, in which Russian commanders can clearly be heard ordering their subordinates to be tied up in a way as punishment for desertion. Yeah, I don't think I want to read any more of that, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to read any more of that as well. Absolute brutal. We know, obviously, Russia has a history of punishing those who turn their backs on the army. They're very brutal. Money, sex, and Budapest monks, head of China's famed Shaolin Temple under investigation. Passenger train derailed in Germany, kills at least 3 people. I think that was a couple of days ago, that one. We are not dogs. Palestinian condemns humanitarian chasing after airdrop in Gaza. Yeah, that's how they're treating them. It's disgusting. How cargo ships deliver made in China goods to your door. Thousands of Gaza scrambled for limited aid amid ongoing shortages. Yeah, look at this. Like, I don't even need to click the video, but you can see it on your left-hand side there. Look at people scrambling for the packages that are dropping from the sky. It's absolutely insane. It's just terrible. Trump slashes deadline for peace in Ukraine, but will the Kremlin care? For the first time, 2 Israeli leaders, human rights groups accuse Israel of genocide in Gaza. Ukraine sees glimmer of hope as Trump shortens deadline for Putin talks. Wildfires threaten Turkey's 4th largest city as southern Israel grapples with the blazes. Syria to hold parliamentary ballot in September as first election since Assad's removal. Might have a look at that later, but it's probably worth reading later on. Russia lifts lid on secretive drone factory as satellite images reveal rapid expansion at key sites. Gaza's are desperate for fish, but Israel has banned access to the sea as well. Yeah, absolutely disgusting stuff, guys. It's disgusting stuff. So guys, we've just hit 12, just pretty much on 12 o'clock here. So what we'll do is we'll probably wrap things up here. Guys, just a reminder, I'll be back at 12 o'clock for the global news. We'll be looking at all the global news, see what's happening happening going on. I may cover 1 or 2 American stories as well. So if you guys want to join me for that, feel free to do so. Good to see you, Daily Blase. Hope you're doing well, guys. Make sure you check out Daily Blase's YouTube channel as well. Check out his stuff there as well. And he's got Friday Frolics this Friday. I know he's been doing some odd live streams here and there, so keep your eyes out. He may be doing another live streams here and there as well. I know All Shorts has been doing a few live streams here and there as well, so keep your eye out on his YouTube channel as well if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. I've got some lots of stuff I've worked I need to do between now and 6 o'clock, guys. So thank you guys for all coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Thank you, Alston Kier, for your super chats, gifting memberships. Greatly appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you guys are doing. Take care of yourselves as always, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.